Hey guys, in this video we look at making a real-time chat app with GameMaker Studio 2 and Node.js. So it'll be a GameMaker client and Node.js server. So let's get started. So I have an empty project here and I've just set the rooms width and height to 600 by 600. I'll keep it very simple. And let me create an object here and I'll call it O client or something. Okay. And there won't be any fancy graphics or anything here, so I'm just gonna go and say the draw event, draw text at 100 at these coordinates. Let's type press 1 to create a room. So in this project we'll use room based real-time chat. So there will be different chat rooms and you can join chat rooms, you can create your own chat room and that way. I think that's that's the best way to make you understand the concepts of what we are doing. So that's what we would do. And in the create event, let me make something to join the server we're about to make. So let's first make that server. I'll create a folder here called server. This is the game maker folder, the project folder. Here, let's take yeah. So first, you want to make sure Node.js is installed on your PC. It's very simple. You can find many good tutorials, and then say Shift and right click, open partial window here, and do npm init. So what that does is it creates a node project in this. It starts initializing a node project in that folder. So just gonna you can give fancy names, but I'm just gonna go enter with defaults, and then next I'll say npm install node. Sorry, npm install WebSocket. Actually WS, yeah. So npm install WS installs the WebSocket module. So WebSocket is the technology and the module name that we'll be using to make this communication happen. So yeah, it'll install that, and here you have these two files which identify that yes, there is a node project in this server. Next, what you'll need is you'll need what we call a script file. So you can call it anything like server.js or index.js or anything. And here, what you'll have is here you have all the code that the server side will run. So for that, I have actually a Notion page here. So it has all the boilerplate code that we will be using. It's really simple stuff. It's a template. So again, I'll teach you guys everything. So let me just copy this part and save it. So what this does is, this is the server side JavaScript code. So this line imports the WebSocket module, with require, and saves it in WebSocket server constant. And then we initialize the WebSocket server, a new instance of the WebSocket server at port 3000 using this line. Okay, that's all we're doing here. And then that's the constant WSS, WebSocket server. So again here, when the WebSocket server receives a connection, and here clients are called WebSockets, okay, sockets, WebSockets. So this is a client. So when the WebSocket server receives a connection from the client, so one WS variable is like one instance of a client. So this is like saying when it receives a connection from a client. So this identifies the client, and we can do stuff like, yeah, what do we do when the player connects? And then we have three functions here. This function, when the WebSocket, when the WS sends us message, what do we do? Then when the WebSocket disconnects, what do we do? Then when the WebSocket, sends us an error, some kind of an error, what do we do? So that's all these three functions are. And let's just say console.log that prints out whatever we want to log. Let's say a new player has connected, because this is what happens when a WebSocket connects. So we have a new connection. Just want to log that out. And to log it, you have to actually say, um, to actually start this whole project now, you have a script file. You want to run this script file in Node. So node server.js, whatever name you put. Now it says the WebSocket server is running because I asked it to. Now let's handle the client side part. So this part is for, goes in a create event. So whenever this object is created, let me put it in the room. So this first line creates a socket. So that's what helps us, that makes us connect to the server with network create socket, of type WebSocket. There are other types too. And then with this function, we make this socket connect to this URL at this port. There are many other functions here as well, like network connect. You see there are 4. So why are we using this exact configuration? Firstly, so we are using a Node server, not a game maker server. That's why it's a raw server. It's a raw web server. So we say raw, and the technology of the WebSocket technology is totally asynchronous. So we will use the async. That's what contributes this async part here. And our thing is hosted at port 3000. So 3000 right there. Now let me just run this, and yeah. So okay, you guys saw a new player has connected because this made the connection happen, and we asked it to log, and it has logged a new connection. Okay. Similarly, let me just log the disconnection as well here. So new player disconnected. Save it. And to cancel this project, to cancel this running, update it, you say Control C C C, so it stops the Node server. Control C and run it again. This time, yeah, you have to again run this. And yeah, it says a new player has connected. And now when I close this, I'm destroying the client, it should say, yeah, a player disconnected. So because I asked it to log that. So that was the basics of starting our server on both sides, so starting our server and our client. If you guys have any doubts, please let me know in the comments, or you can join the Discord server link in description too. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next part. Okay, now let's try to understand how our whole rooms concept will work. So if you've come here from my other videos, this system will be different. So yeah, it is different. It's not the same. Some parts are similar, but the whole system is at the end of the day very different. So I'll make a new array here and call it players, mostly because we want to put this real-time chat in our games. So I'll just call it players. You can call it clients or anything. And whenever we receive a connection, let's do something. Players dot push this WebSocket. So this would add this WebSocket into our players array. So when the first player Jake joins, Jake's WebSocket object is put here. When Alan joins after that, Alan's WebSocket is again put here. It keeps stacking up. And yeah. So now another thing, we can actually handle this part here itself. And when somebody disconnects, first let's do the player disconnected thing. Also, let's remove this WebSocket from our players array because the player is not anymore here. And yeah, it's better than doing this at the end. So the way we would actually do that is we'll say for let I in players. Actually, we can say for item of players. I like the old one, but this is simpler, I guess. So for the item of for every item in this array, um, let's do item. I mean, yeah, if item is this WebSocket that has just disconnected in all the WebSockets in the players array, this, if this disconnected WebSocket is that, if there, then we want to remove it. So we say players dot splice, and the index is okay. This is why I don't like the system. For let I in players, if sorry, if players I, so this element is the disconnected WebSocket, then because this WebSocket refers to this one. When we say players.splice, the index I, and how many elements do we want to remove here? One. Save. Okay. So this way we handle connection disconnection. That way players will have all the connected clients at the moment. And now let's create the whole, WebSocket thing. So for that, let's create the whole chat room thing. So for that, let's actually say here, this WebSocket, this thing is really special because here you can add your own attributes too. So you can say ws dot chat room, and you can give a name here. And now let's try to have some, common names here. What if somebody is not in any chat room? Because we are going to put everybody in some kind of a chat room. So so just after connection, let's put this stuff. So ws.chatroom is equal to, what do we say for no chat room? Let's call it lobby. Okay. Yeah. So ws.chatroom is equal to lobby. And now let me just log the players array to show you guys what I'm talking about. So console.log, sorry, players. Saving it and Control C, running it again, and yes. Okay, so now you guys can see what has been. Yes, this is the whole players array that got logged. Okay, and this is our WebSocket. Okay, no, this whole thing. This is our first WebSocket that we have stored inside here. And if you look closely, there should be a, because we said room, chat room. So yeah, there's our chat room attribute. All this stuff is, the internal, it's about the internal working of our WebSocket system. So let that be Node's problem. But here we have our thing that we put chat room lobby. So similarly, we can now with code put, others we can put other chat rooms here according to what people want and what people don't want, and that's what we'll do in the next parts. All right, now I think I need to introduce you guys to the async networking event. So in our O client, add this async networking. Where is that? Async networking, yeah, sorry. Now here you actually have, so whenever the server tells us anything, Okay, the server tells us anything. In fact, anything related to networking will appear here in some or the other form. So this function, so whatever comes here, when we receive data from the server, when the server tells us you have connected, when the server tells us you have this disconnected, all of that, is sent in some kind of packet, and that packet is a DS map called async load. Get it? It's a DS map, so dictionary DS map, whatever you wanna call it, and this has data for if it's a if the server is telling you if it's a connection, if the server is telling you if it's a disconnection, or data. So head back to our Notion part, and this is the async networking boilerplate. So go back here and paste that, and don't worry, guys. Yep, actually that's pretty much it. I don't want to confuse you with extra code. So yeah, now whenever the server sends us anything, I told you guys, it sends us in this async load DS map. So we have to read the async load DS map accordingly and interpret all our information. So now um, I have a switch statement for that. So this particular attribute of the DS map type tells us which if it's this type or this type, and yeah. So what's the difference in all this? So whenever we connect to the server, okay, and the server has confirmed our connection, this the server senses this type in the event. And if the server is sending us some kind of data, we get this. Okay. So this we can put any code here that we want to run when we have just connected. And this is the code that will run when the server has sent us some data. For now, let me just comment it out. It's not required. And yeah, now we'll come to some you can say, yeah, even here actually this part is not needed at the moment, but I'll show you guys what we have to do. Now let me just show message you connected to the server. You connected to the server. Okay, so we'll just show a message saying you connected to the server. Now, you know how I said here, press 1 to create a room. Let's just say press 1 to create / join a room, because at the end of the day, the, with the system we are going for, everybody has some chat room. Everybody's default chat room is called lobby, and everybody's and when your chat room is not lobby, it's something else. Say it's moon. So if you have this as your chat room, it's just one attribute on this WebSocket. So when we create moon, uh, we're just creating a new chat room that nobody has created yet. So yeah, so in our WebSocket instance chat room, it's moon. And if somebody else is wanting to join moon, then they'll be the second person to have moon as their chat room attribute in the WebSocket instance. So it's like all the chat rooms exist, they just have 0 players. And once we say join or create, you're just joining that. It's kind of like that. So all rooms are created, is what I'm trying to say. So let's just say you guys want to create join a room, okay? And now when one is actually pressed, key pressed, um, digits one. I don't know why I say one, but in fact, one might not be the best choice, because what do we do? Let's just do, you know, let's do right click. Right click. You can do anything, but I think right click is not that that much used in our project. So right pressed, okay? Yes, in right pressed. Now we have to tell the server to put us in the room we want to be in. And how we do that? So there's a very simple thing here called, let me say, var chat room, and there's this function called get string. You should not use this in your production projects, but it's a debugging tool where you can just get some string from your you get some data from the user. So we say get string, and I can just call it um, please enter the room you want to join. Okay, and the what's this? This is the default room. So let me set this. This is the default text that will show. So again, lobby is fine. Lobby is the chat room where everybody's thrown by default. Okay. Now save. And so when we do a right click, it'll say chat. This a pop-up will show asking us which room we want to join, and that string will be stored here in this variable chat room request. I guess I don't know, you can put anything. So what do we do next? Next we want to tell the server, and now there's this format I have for sending data to the server. And the thing is, we use buffers here, and I know buffers can get really complicated, and I don't want anybody to feel threatened by that and not go forward in their project. So that's why I've created this some simple format, and I'll explain it to you guys. So the main thing in our format is, first we create a buffer. You don't need to remember all this. We are creating a buffer, and in the buffer, think of buffers as like a wrapper. It's wrapping our data. And data is a dictionary that we are creating, a DS map that we are creating. And then, we can uh, tell the server to put us in a chat room. Now, to do that, firstly, let's say um, we'll use an event-based communication here. So when I say I'm making a new attribute in this dictionary called uh, event name, that's how we send a lot of things to the server. Do this, do that, and event name will keep all that in check. And what do you say? Put us in this room. So okay, join room, and that's the event name. And let's put the room name as whatever uh, chat room request is. Okay, and then we have written this in our data ds map. Then we are writing it again in the buffer, and even that we are encoding it. So first we are making a data ds map, then we are adding two attributes, then we are doing JSON encode. What this does is it creates ds maps into a string. And yeah, so JSON encode creates a ds map into a very readable string like format. So and then when we say buffer write, we are writing that string into this buffer. You guys get it? And then we're saying with network send raw, we're sending this this buffer that's fine. Send that to the server. So let me just save that, and I think this is all. Okay, so I was actually running into some problems. I don't know why, but instead of having this in any button press, let me just have it directly in the step event if mouse check button pressed MB right, then you can run this code. So tab right. Okay, hope that works. So now right click, yeah, it's asking us which room we want now. So let me just say I want the room, let's say moon. So, and yeah, you guys saw that right here. It sent that data to the server, and in VS Code you saw we are logging that. So whenever we receive a message, it says console.log client has sent us whatever data. So now that's what got logged, and exactly what we put in this in the DS map, event name and the room name, that same thing got sent, and you guys can see it got sent in a very readable string-like format with nice curly braces. So this string is a string representation. It's a JSON string. That's what we call it, of any dictionary or DS map. And now on the server, we'll work with this and put this client in the room name that it has requested. So yeah, let's do that. Now this is what the client has sent us. So now there's this function called JSON.parse. What that does is it takes a JSON string, that nice string, and converts it into a dictionary here, a DS map in JavaScript. That's called a JSON object. So it converts a string into a dictionary and data is, so this will return the dictionary, and let me save that in a variable called real data. Okay, and this will have real data will have the JavaScript readable thing, and what we want to do is ws dot chat room. We are again accessing that attribute and putting it to real data dot, what did we send, room name. Got it. So this will change it for us, and again I don't think I need to console.log this anymore. You guys understood. And client has sent us this, yeah. So this way, and we can do this again. So if I right click again, it again asks me. So if I put anything else, now this is the new room name. So this way we can right click and change, keep changing it. Just make, don't do, yeah, there's one thing you guys should avoid. Don't ever press cancel. It screws the whole system up. So yeah, the room name, it takes it as a, you can have really bad outcomes. So don't mess with it. That's what I'm trying to say. That's pretty much it for now. We have changed this attribute that we wanted to change, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, now I want to do something else here. Instead of just sending the room name, let's also ask the guy who's playing this game or using this thing for their username. So username is equal to get string. What name do you want to use on this server? Something like that. What name do you want to use here? And let the default name be guest. Okay. And we'll make another attribute here called username, and in username we'll put this. Okay, and even in VS Code I'll make that update. So after ws.chatroom we'll have ws.username is equal to guest at first, and here once you receive any message, and yeah, here, last time said uh, we quickly said, pass the data and ws.chatroom is equal to this. But we need to be a bit more specific here. Like we say switch um, real data dot event name. Yeah, so in with the switch statement, we take the event name, and if our event name is, what was that, join room, right? Join room. So if it is join room, only then we want to do this. Otherwise, that's why we have this event based system. That's the whole point of it. And as of now, we just added this, username. So even that let me add. So ws dot username is equal to real data dot username. Keep in mind, real data is the dictionary, okay, and dictionary. Uh, data is the dictionary, but in a string-like form. So it's a JSON string. We are decoding that and parsing that and making it into a dictionary, a proper JavaScript dictionary here. Okay, so now let's send and receive chats. So the way we do that is firstly, yeah, to send a chat, I want to have like another key. So if I don't know which key is not yet pressed, let's just put if key check. Wait, sorry, what's the format? If keyboard key press, and let the keyboard now be um, VK. Um, why can't it just be, let's say, left shift? Yeah. Wow, that's not a very common key. Okay, you can run fast, but okay. So yeah, when you press left shift, let's again copy this format. This is how you send data to the server. Do not mess this format up. It's a very simple way you can avoid understanding buffers. So let the yeah send text. Let send text be the event name. Sending a chat. You're sending text to each other, and now all we need to put here is what the text is. So the chat. What is the chat? Um, Chat content is also good. Yeah, and data chat content is equal to get string, and let this be so hi be the default string, and sorry, you're asking what to send, and the second argument is hi. So yeah, like this way we're sending this new event send text with left shift, and here now when we receive, we have another case. Instead of join room, this one will be send text. Then we have to send this to everyone in, let's say the chat room's name is Moon here. For now, let's just assume the guy who has sent us is in Moon chat room. So how would we, send this text, whatever message we have? Let me just decode that message. That var message would be real data dot uh, chat content, right? Now we have the message. We have to send this string to everybody else. How do we do that? So now we're going to cover how to send anything to a particular client from Node. And yeah, this is how you do it. So whenever in Node, I told you everything happens, not everything, but yeah, this is a very cool, a very important, a very wonderful thing here, the WebSocket. So when we say ws.send, that kind of sends whatever we want to send here. So if I say hi, it sends hi to this WebSocket, so this instance of the client and whoever this is. So to do that, I'll show you guys. For let I in players, you know, you will have players I. So this will be one client. So this will be one WebSocket, right? So instead of doing ws dot, so yeah, if we say ws dot send hi, this will send hi to the person who has sent this message. Got it? But we want to send hi to everybody. How do we do that? For that, we take that person's, that guy's WS instance. And, we had stored all these WS instances. Yeah, we had stored all these WS instances in players. That's the point of having players. So we take this and we say dot send. And what do we want to send? Message. Message. Okay. And again, we don't want to send it to everybody in players, so for that we would say if if the um, if players I, so remember, players of I is literally WebSocket, one WebSocket. If so, here we say if ws.chat, yeah, we say ws.chatroom is lobby. So if this dot chatroom, got it, if this dot chat room is the is what do we want to say, what's the chat room, is equal to this guy's chat room, so ws dot chat room. So on one hand, let's say Jake has sent this text. So this ws.chatroom refers to Jake's chat room because Jake has sent this message. This is in Jake's domain. But when we do this for loop, this is every player in the players array. So if this player's chat room is Jake's chat room, then to this player send this message. Got it? That's how it works. And now let's see how we receive this data. So I'm just gonna uncomment this again. Here also I have some kind of a system for reading this, but instead of doing that, I'll actually just, I don't have to send this much to everyone. So as I told you, I'm not gonna do the whole, I'm not gonna put every text in a beautiful format. I want to make it very graphical, anything. I just want to show you guys how the networking aspect of this would work. So I told you, in this async networking, this case is when the server sends us any data. So again, there is some kind of a format to read from the server, but at the JSON string that the server, whatever that server sends us, is actually stored in this buffer process is equal to buffer read. So yeah, in fact, let's see how left click on a mouse. I don't know why these are not working properly for me, but yeah, MB left. If this doesn't work, I don't know what's wrong. Again, the node server is running. New player has connected. Right click to join the room. Moon as Jake. And left click to send finally. So let's send hi, I'm Jake, I'm new here. So you guys can see it says send text, hi, I'm Jake, I'm new here. Got it? Okay, again. Okay. Now let's actually make the message a bit bigger. So, okay, this we don't need. And instead of just sending the message, let's say we also send the player's name who has sent this message. So, ws dot username plus this string, just that. It would look better. And that's the message. And this whole thing would be sent. Now, let's see how it would be processed here. Let me actually make an array called global chat. In fact, yeah, global dot chat equals empty array. And here, whatever we get from the server, it would read it as, and yeah, here also we would like to have some kind of an event-based system, really. So let's make an event-based system again. How do we do that? In the last time in the client side, how did we make an event? We said event name, and here the event name would be receive. Even here we can put send text. Okay, little distinction. We have sent text, and the message would be this thing. Okay, and I'm going to save it. So this is what we would ideally like to send to the client. And how do we send that? We would again say JSON dot stringify, because we are making this into a readable string-like format. And this string, now this has become a string that we want to send to everybody in the room. Got it? Yeah, stringify needs good brackets. Yeah, so let me just make a variable here called was string to send, and in that I'll say, um, you know, this is the JSON string that we want to send to the client, and here I'll write it as, you just want to make it easy for you guys. So this is the string that we want to send, okay? And yeah, so this string, this will be stringified and sent. Okay, this needs to be the string to send text. Now, how will the client handle this? So again, there's a format here, and I want you guys to follow this format because it will be easier for you. That's it. Again, we would have an event name here. Again, we put a switch statement, just like we did for the, just like we did in Node, and we would put switch event name, and the first case would be um, sent text. We have only made one event till now. Good for us. Break, and yeah. So let me just add it to global.chat. Global.chat. Actually, how do you add? I think it's array push, yeah, in global.chat. And what do you want to push here? Real data message. Okay, and now let's just do yeah, let me just actually print this once, like show message buffer processed, to show you guys what we are receiving. Okay, so now I'll uh, run this guy again. Now wait, let me just cancel everything, run it again, run this, and let's see, you connected to the server, another instance here. Okay, so right click, join moon, keep the name as Jake, right click, join moon, keep the name as Alan. Now we'll send a text. So left click. Hi, I live in a beach house. So okay. So you guys can see what we received here is this. I showed, I was showing this message, buffer process. So this is a representation of what we have received from the server. Got it? Similarly, it came here too because Alan is in the same room. This shows us that our code is working and we have in fact created some kind of a system for this whole thing. And that's really good for us. We're actually ending this video a lot faster than I expected. Now, it looks really bad, whatever the way I've, you know, we have to show the chats in at least some good way. So I think we can do that with the for loop for var I equals 0, I lesser than array length, because it has 3 elements. The last one would have the length of the array is 3, but it's only 0, 1, 2. Yeah. Array length global dot chat and I plus plus. It's a simple for loop. I just want to print it nicely, really. Our project is in fact perfectly working. So now let's print this. How do we print it? I'll say draw text 100 comma, and for the y I'll put 100 plus 15 into I and global actually 1 then 15 plus we draw global dot chat and that element here. So this would just print all our chats nicely for us. Got it? We save it, run it again. And to show you guys that this is in fact working, I'll run 3 instances here. So and in here you connected to the server. Okay, here let's call this the room moon Jake. Here, okay, sorry, I don't want to send anything. Okay, these two are in the same room, so it's saying this. Okay, here I want to put moon Alan and let this guy still be in the lobby room. So when I say something here like, hi, Alan, I don't have any money. So because these two are in the same room, it's working. Jake. This way we have created a very neat app, and now this guy is in the lobby room, so it doesn't matter what he sends. It will not appear on these guys' screen. So we actually created a really simple real-time chat app with Node and with Node using making Node our server and GMS our client. I hope you guys learned from this video how to make a real-time app and mainly these concepts, how we are receiving this data, and again how we are using this event name based system, and how we actually send messages with in the JSON string format between the Node server and GMS. And I hope you guys just understand the main concepts from this video. If you have any doubts, please you can comment it or you can join the Discord server, and we have a doubts question section there. So yeah, all the best.